Once upon a time, there was a village filled with warm-hearted people. They loved love and they admired generosity and they worshipped empathy. But then one day, a dragon crept into the village. She was enormous and awesome and ferocious and cunning, and for years on end, she hid herself in a fog of her own creation, and the villagers scarcely noticed her presence. But then slowly, ever so slowly, their hearts began to cool. And then the dragon bewitched the villagers, and she no longer needed to hide in the fog. And they soon knelt down before her and offered her a sacrifice of their oldest traditions, their most sacred values. They flung off the highest cliff in the land. But the dragon frowned, unsatisfied, and the people's hearts grew colder still. And then they began to sacrifice the innocent. Countless offerings, not yet nurslings, were laid at the dragon's feet. Mothers and fathers hired butchers to maim their own children. Maidens were led into the clutches of ghouls disguised as maidens themselves. Invaders from hostile, far-off places were welcomed into the realm with open arms, and some brought with them poisons that, once ingested, could drive even the strongest man to a slow and agonizing suicide. But then, when a knight arrived at the gates, the dragon eagerly bade him inside. And the knight threw down his sword and stared into the fearsome eyes of the dragon, and the people hissed, and they sought refuge in her shadow as their hearts frosted over. And the knight lifted his chin and spoke calmly to the dragon. He demanded that she free the villagers from her control. He desperately tried to remind them of what they'd forgotten, but they plugged their ears and closed their eyes. And the knight's voice, it was so powerful, it shook the valley for miles around. And then smoke began to billow from the dragon's nose, and the people's hearts suddenly froze and cracked and crumbled in their chests. And then in barely a blink, the dragon set forth a white-hot cascade of fire, and the knight was transformed instantly into a silent heap of ash that disappeared on a wailing gust. And the people cheered, and they wept tears of joy as the dragon embraced them against her comforting scales. But the knight's voice, it echoed off the surrounding hills, and it continued to echo all through the night and into the following days. And it's echoing still, even now. And it always will be.